focus. Whatever helps you to focus. Okay, what's your name?
Melissa, and you did the class for the.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I will be honest, my memory is not what it used to be. I'm so saying that, because then I feel like
I sat in the back over here.
yeah.
I don't know how you could
I
remember
was
the full class. It's impossible. It was a full class.
And then I had several classes after us.
Yeah, no,
I'm
if
like,
you can remember, I'm just like,
Y'all-
level over here.
yeah, I'm not a genius, so sorry, I'm not.
I will never be in that category.
Never. I'm trying to do better though. I'm trying to do better. You know, I think that and directions are probably my weaknesses. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Do we need to sign in anywhere? Sorry.
Do you want them to sign in?
Can you start? I'll start. Just so I can have the name, so Abby knows we can send the presentation to.
Thank you.
Danielle.
Danielle, okay. I'm trying to remember. Danielle, Nasser, Brittany, Melissa, Amy.
Yep.
And then Alexis. Okay.
Yes.
Put a name tag somewhere.
Same girl, same.
Okay, well,
There we go.
I'm gonna go ahead and get started. For the record, I was here at 10:38, so it was not me that prolonged this class here. I love y'all. But I thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to come, because I know how hard it is for us to pull away from everything that we have going on. And if you have to take a call or anything for a property, I understand. You may go out and take care of your business. Because I want you to make money. Were you in the class last time? So everyone in here was in the class last time. Okay, great. Okay.
That was one of the best classes I've taken, and thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So now I got a phone call asking me to come and talk about effective communication. And so we were talking about it and realized that we want to focus on mirror and matching our clients. Because, the first class that you all took more so just focus on disc and how to figure out their different disc styles by meeting them. Okay, so we've learned that. Hopefully you all have really integrated that into your lives, into your business. Have you? You have? Nasser, have you?
Yes.
You have? Have you? Have you? How has it been so far?
It's actually been really helpful.
Good.
Yeah, like I know when I need to cut to the chase, I know when I need to story tell, like
Yes.
entertain.
Yes. Okay. Okay, good. And yes. Okay.
Knowing what style to go into, just by looking at the outside of the home, that is huge.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. How many of you have used it for sale by owners? Like calling on leads? I have a young lady that was really struggling in her business. Like, I don't think she had any sales last year at all. She came to my class and she's always been like loving for sale by owners. So she started implementing what I taught her on for sale by owners. She already has 2 listings and she has 2 more coming. Wow. Just by using this. So I'm like, wow, that is awesome. So if you are wanting to really get into for sale by owners or expires and withdrawals, take that information and use that as well to continue to increase your business. So I'm glad to hear that it is helping you, and hopefully what we talk about today will help you to kind of go a little bit deeper into it. So when we talk about mirror match, it's like, why do we have to talk about this? What is the point of knowing how to mirror match, our clients? We want to make sure that we're building the rapport with them. It's going to help us. If I'm a high D, high I, like we were just talking about the difference in transaction management systems. And I don't want to sit there and have to figure out different things. I want it to just go like that. Even if I have an admin, I still want what I got to do to be fast. So if I'm fast, everything about me is fast. I'm a high D, high I. I talk fast, I walk fast, I think fast. My friends even tell me sometimes my brain goes so fast. If I'm fast and then I have someone come to me and they're slow, what does that do to me?
Torture.
It's so much torture to me because I move fast and I need them to move fast. And talking about it, my husband is a high SC, so he's a little bit slower in thinking and not like slow, but he has to analyze everything. And so I'll ask him a question. It could be like, what do you want for dinner? And he's sitting there,
Oh, gosh.
I'm like, make a decision, make it now. I need to know, like, it's not that hard. Then I start naming things to try to help him. And he looks at me like, will you calm down? And so it's interesting, even in my marriage, of helping us with communication. And so that's what DISC also helps us with, of understanding how to communicate with our significant other, with our clients, with everyone in the world. So if I know that I'm fast and someone's slow, I have to slow down. Sometimes I have to slow down for him. Sometimes he has to speed up and he doesn't really speed up like I need him to, but he tries his best to speed up for me. So it's going to help us with communication. It's going to help us with building the rapport. It's going to help us to better understand our clients. It's going to help us to better understand their needs. It's going to help us to be better realtors, moms, dads, husbands, wives, even children dealing with our parents. And so I'm hoping that this class really helps you to close more deals and be able to connect more with others. So when we talk about mirror and match, we have to mirror and match body language. If I don't need you. Because sometimes you have those clients that are going through a house and they're going fast. They're going to zoom through the house like I don't have time. I had a client where zoom in, zoom out, and we're going to the next. I'm like, watch this. But then you have those that may be like, want to take their time, look at everything, want to open all the doors, let me check. So you have to slow down. Slow down. So you're mirroring and matching their body language, their pace, their energy. If they're high, you can't come low. You need to be high with them. Bring your energy. If you know you have a high eye, drink a bunch of coffee or Coca-Cola before you meet with them. Like I have natural energy and I had a cup of coffee, so y'all are really feeling it right now. But if I know that I'm going out with a client that's in high S, I'm not gonna drink any coffee because I'm gonna be too much for them. The S and C's, they will be like, I know I can't bring that much energy. And I already have natural, so coffee just takes me to a whole nother level. I literally don't drink because I know there's no telling what I would do if I drank. Y'all will see me on the news, be like, oh, that's Quincy. Did she really do that? Yeah. So making sure that we're taking care of our clients by understanding their energy, understanding where they are, their posture. If they're, setting up with confidence, then I need to come with confidence. If they're, a little bit more reserved, then, I kind of don't come all the way up on them. I'm like, okay, we're gonna be reserved together, but I'm gonna get a little closer, to pull you in. So when we talk about mirror and matching, we're going to take it to a whole nother level of building trust with our clients. So tone, match speed, pitch, and energy. I talk fast, match me. My energy, match me. Body language, match me. If my body language is showing you that I'm open, you remember we talked about that, open and close? Those people that are really open, which ones are open? Do you remember? Which ones are open? I and S. So your I and S is going to be open. So if I'm open, I need you to be open with me. You can't sit back like this with me as an I, because then I'm gonna feel like I don't know what it is, but I'm wondering about that person because they feel like you're too standoffish. For instance, I have a client I just closed on, and he called me out the blue off of Zillow lead. I think I told y'all about that because I think I was working on it when I came last time. And he was working with two different lenders. One lender had a better deal, but he chose not to deal with that lender because he felt like that lender was not personable. My client is an I. He's a high I. He wanted to feel the energy. He said he was just too the lender was a C. I called this lender, I'm like, oh yeah, he's a C. He was too dry, he was, so he didn't even want to deal with him, even though he was gonna get a better deal. So he called me, he was like, Quincy, I got these two lenders, and one of them, I really like him, and I want to use him, but the other one has a better deal, but he's just all about business. And so I had to explain to him to go with the better deal, and it's gonna be okay. At the end of the day, you're saving thousands of dollars, you gotta go with it. But what about those clients that don't have that conversation with someone else? It's easier to say when you're dealing with a lender where you can see dollar versus dollar. But is there a difference when you're an agent and I'm an agent? You got two agents, we're both charging 3%. What's the difference? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to say chickens. We're both charging chickens? What's the difference? Exactly. They may not go and talk to someone about, what, this agent made me feel really good, and this one, they're just all about business. They may not even have that conversation. They're just gonna switch and go to the one that they connect with. We don't want to leave any business on the table. So we gotta learn how to connect with those clients and meet them where they are. And that's why we're talking about mirror matching. We've got to get deeper into making sure that we're connecting with them to help them, making sure that our pace, if you're going fast paced, let me go fast paced. Which ones were fast paced? I and what? D. Your I and D. So they're fast paced, and I told you I'm high I and D, 99% both. Crazy. I am crazy. So if I'm walking fast and I'm like, let's go, like I said, don't go slow behind me. Don't do that. If I'm talking fast, don't take your time. If I ask you a question and you're sitting there like, and I know you automatically want to think if you're an S or a C, your process is to think. And I get that. But what can you do and here's an S or a C. Okay. So Amy, what could you do if I'm talking fast to you? And I know you got to think because that's just how you are. And I love that about you. I wish I did think more because maybe I wouldn't make so many bad decisions in life. But anyway, so you're thinking, you're taking time to think of what you should say or what's the correct way to say it to me. How could you adjust that to me that's speaking fast? So if I say, why is this, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, so you don't have to go into detail. You don't have to, I'm not putting her on the spot, but you don't have to go into detail as far as scripting with me right now, but more so tell me something that you think you could do. And it's not a wrong because it's you. What could you do if I say that, well, why is this house so much, why is this house so much more than the rest of them? I don't understand.
There could be a lot of answers for that.
Uh-huh.
One off the top of my head, maybe the seller just had a certain amount in mind. They looked at the comps, I've noticed that and start pointing things out around, we're near a school where, things like that.
Okay, hold that thought. Thank you. So what I noticed, and I don't know if any of you noticed it, she was thinking while she was speaking. So she didn't take time to let me think about this before I respond. I'm going to quickly respond, but as I'm saying this, I'm thinking because she kept saying, So each time she's thinking through what she's got to say to me. So that's how an S or C can handle someone with me that's so direct and I'm fast. She can still move fast and probably not at the same pace as me because how fast, but she could calm down and say, let me speak to you now, answer your questions. And as I'm answering, I'm thinking. So if we had someone like Amy, since most of you are not a S or a C, that means you're either a D or an I. So if we had a client like Amy that asked us a question, same question, why is this one so high? It wouldn't be the way I said it. Why is this so high? It wouldn't be like that. Why is this one a lot more than the other one? And it's coming out of curiosity. Where a D&I may be like, I don't understand there. It's like insulting. Why would you have this house so much more? Where S and C may be out of curiosity. Why? So how would we as a D or an I relate to a SC when they're asking us a question like that?
I feel like one, you have to slow down, and then two, give more details. because like I am a high D, high
Mhm.
So I just wanna know why it's different, cause that affects my bank account. But like my mom is not like that, and she really wants to know like, no, like, is there something better in this house? So you
Right.
do have to explain like, well, this kitchen is renovated, you see they have high-end finishes. At the other home, it was the builder grade, it's how they built it in 1999 versus this one is upgraded, and we have to account for that because kitchens sell homes. So you kind of gotta give them like the backstory a little bit, so they feel like the value, or at least understand the price.
Exactly. And thank you. So yes, so you have to explain to them. If an S or a C is asking you a question, it's coming out of curiosity. So we're going to slow it down and we're going to explain to help them to better understand. Yes, ma'am.
Could you really quickly give an example, like if you were responding to that question, where you're showing me a house or whatever, you respond to the question as you are and then respond to it as I am. Could you just give a really quick difference?
Okay, so
Quincy, why
you're,
is this house like priced so much
Okay, so
better?
you're
You
my-
respond as a DI, as a ID,
I'm responding as a
as you. Just
DI
Quincy, like how-
and you're my
Yeah, you're not
SC.
mirroring me, you're just being you.
Okay, and you're my, but I already know that you're an SC.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, say that again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm curious to know why this house is more expensive than the other ones in this neighborhood.
You know, that's a great question, and I'm glad you asked that. Let me show you the difference. And then usually, because for me, I know that I'm dealing with an S or a C. So whenever I'm showing homes, I'm already prepared because I know that they're gonna ask me more questions than I probably had the answers to. And then so I may show them the difference between the house down the street. It's not so much of me just telling you, it's me showing you. Because especially a high C, they don't want, oh, pull from the air. No, a show me. So when you're dealing with a S or C, bring the information and show them. If you already know, because we're the experts, right? We get paid big dollars to be experts. If I already know that she is coming from curiosity on everything that we do, then I'm going to already have information on the other homes because I already know this was a little bit higher. And more than likely, I'm gonna be honest with you, usually before I take someone there, I've already noticed that the house is overpriced. And I would say, you know, this one's gonna be a little bit overpriced, but because of this. So I've already given them that information. But what I would do is just share with them why. You know, I'm glad that you asked that question, Amy. And I agree, it is a lot more than the other ones. But, you know, we have to look at the fact that this one has brand new hardwood floors. And I just did a listing the other day, and those hardwood floors that they put in was like $40,000. So you're looking at probably, you know, $40,000 worth of hardwood floors. Also, this house has brand new kitchen countertops. And then I just started listing all the things. And I said, so you're getting what you pay for. Now we could look at the other one, and I would suggest that we go and look at that and compare the two. And let's see the difference when you walk into that one versus walking into this one. Because Amy, honestly, I know that when you find your home, you're gonna know it. When you walk in the door, you're gonna feel it. It is gonna be worth it for you. So what did you feel when you walked in here, Amy?
It's too much.
It's too much? Okay. That's
A
fair.
little too fancy.
No, and that's fair. And I love that feedback, Amy. I appreciate that.
I need
Because-
cottage core.
Huh?
Let's go see a cottage.
See a cottage,
Yeah.
okay, and I love that feedback. So now we have something to compare the cottage to. Because we really don't know until we can look at both of them and compare. So understanding your client, a D and a I, you don't need all that stuff. You can just go free willy. Because an I is gonna be off emotion. Love it. I get to entertain, you know. But when you're dealing with the S and a C, be prepared. Before you go on appointments with them, be prepared. Because guess what? They're gonna ask you questions that you probably will not know the answers to. So it's better to be prepared for them because then you come across as the expert. So when you're dealing, already know your client and then be prepared for their questions. I have one client, SC. Every time we go out, I know she's gonna ask me something I have no idea about. And I'll be honest, the last time I took her out, I made a mistake. I did not prepare like I should have, because I was just getting off the road. And she was like, hey, can we go and see this house? Reached out. We had to quickly go. I didn't have time. Boy, she was asking me all kind of questions. I'm looking at the agent because it was a $6 million house. So I had to look at the agent because, they're usually there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's your house and it's his parents' house. So I'm like, and what's the answer to that? And so, I covered it up. I was like, this is his parents' house. So he knows the house better than I do. So we want to make sure we're asking him all the questions that we have. So I saved myself. You gotta figure out how to save yourself sometimes, even when you're not prepared.
Well, I think that's a good point, is you're not gonna know all
Yes.
the answers, and it's important to be prepared with a response. Like, I noticed that you have like, that's a great question. I wanna make sure that I think I know the answer, but I wanna double check factually, and then I'll get
Yes.
back to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't wanna give you what I believe it is, I want to know. Like, I'm
Exactly.
just saying, like, in general, I know
Yes.
that I'm not gonna know everything, because that was one of my big concerns, I'm still new, very, very new.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing is like, I wanna know everything.
And you're
like,
not.
David, our director of coaching, he's like, you're never gonna know everything.
You're not.
So be prepared to how to respond to that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And you can fuck it up. And if you,
Scary.
and it is scary, but it's okay
Yeah.
to say, you know what, let me check on that. And so what I do is I make my notes while we're going through. So if they ask me something, I still just have no clue. Like, what's being built over there? Oh. So I'll say, no, I'll check on that for you and I'll get back with you later on today. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so I make myself a note to follow up with them on finding out whatever they asked me. You're not gonna know everything. They don't expect you to know everything, but they expect you to
follow up. Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
So try to be prepared though. Our job is to be prepared, because when we're not, then we're looking over it like, I don't know, what is it? Like I had to do with the other agent. Thankfully, I knew, even though he didn't want us to know, I knew that it was his parents' house because I did the research, because he was even showing us the house that was built on part of the land. He was like, oh yeah, and the last buyer, they want to buy that when I was selling for $3 million. I'm like, dude, that's your house. So, making sure that you are prepared. So why use DISC in real estate? So let's go back to DISC. Why are we using DISC in real estate?
We meet with our clients.
Correct? Because we want to be a better agent, right? Why else would we use DISC in real estate?
The faster we connect with them, the faster we get the job done.
Right, exactly. Because since you all are mostly Ds and Is, except for Amy. I love it though.
Actually, I'm an SI.
SI, oh, okay. So but you operate more in your S than your I.
I think so.
Mhm.
I'm a DC.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
DC,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
DS. So y'all all have S or C in you. What do you have? Your DI?
Well, I've taken it twice. I was a high D, high I, and then I was a high I, high D. So we'll just call that almost the same.
Yeah,
High D, high
okay.
I haven't taken the test.
Oh, you didn't take our last class.
Yeah, I wasn't here. This is my first class.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit into.
No,
a
you're
little bit-
good.
We're gonna go a little bit into it. I'm sorry.
I'm a SC.
SC, okay, SC, okay. So with all the combinations that we have here,
It's interesting. Kind of a nice little
Yeah.
spread.
it is, I love it. I love the combos. I'm a high D, high I, 99% both. Very little S, very little C, so these may not be correct with me. So let's look at this, because I know that we have one person that has not taken the DISC. So your D is your dominance, your I is influence, S is steadiness, and C is conscientious. Those are the 4 different personality styles that we talk about. D is your very dominant person. They're fast-paced, they're decisive, and they're very direct. Let's get to the point. So when you have a D, I want you to think about, usually, not 99%, but usually a high D is going to be in a position of authority on their job. They can be an entrepreneur, or they can be in a management role somewhere, because it's hard for them to not be in command of something, because that's just their natural to be in command. They're all about results. They're all about control. They fear losing control. A D does not want to lose control. How does that work for you as a real estate agent? When you're dealing with a D and they do not want to lose control,
Empower them.
you empower a D. You make them feel like it was their grand idea. And whatever happens,
How do you empower them?
helping them to feel like it was their decision. You have to give them choices and let them make the decision. You can't just tell them what to do. They got to feel like they're leading. Even for me, especially, and this is, don't take it the wrong way, but I'm gonna be honest. When I have a high D client that's a man, high D, male, me, I'm a high D too. I have to adapt myself and I step back.
Love this.
And I let them be in control. I let them feel like they're the head and I am that neck. The neck makes the head move. So that's what I have to do. Even when we go out to see multiple homes, he's driving his car, I'm driving my car. I let him lead. I tell him where we're going. I say, I will follow you. I make them feel like they're in control. I step back. Because if I'm like, I'm leading, he's not going to follow behind me. I've had that happen. They don't want to follow behind me. I let them lead. Because then they're going to complain about my driving anyway.
I was just gonna give an example. A lot of it is behavioral. A lot of it is the language used. So I had a high D in my listing, my first listing appointment, and I recognized it. And it was also like, they're going through divorce. So it's an emotional situation. They're on good terms, but I knew it. So I was like, hey, my job is to support you. You're in charge. I use the word.
Yeah.
You're
Yep.
in charge. This is your home that you lived in for 20 years. This is your decision. I give you information, you give my expert, advice, and I'm your advisor.
Yes.
I was like, but you get to make the decision for price. You get to decide everything. So then they have that power, that
Yeah.
empowerment. And so like, along with the behavior stuff, like I saw their body language change from like,
Yes.
okay.
No, and that is so true. You have to empower them and make them feel like they're making the decisions. They have to feel like they're in
Luckily, my
control.
brain was working then.
I love
Luckily,
it.
my brain was working then.
I love it. You have to make them feel like they're in control. This is their decision. It's not your decision, it's their decision. Because then they feel like, okay, I really like this agent because I feel like I'm in control. I have a high D, high I client that I worked with, and we've been going on a 5-year relationship. And I'm using this in relationship terms. He has cheated on me. He has decided to see other agents sometimes on me.
Hurts.
Yeah, it does. He has been that client and been a little abusive sometimes in his comments to me. So I've been in an abusive relationship for a good bit with this client. But I decided that I was going to make him love me and show him that he could not cheat on me anymore. And I worked my butt off to make sure that he understood that I was his agent. And like I said, it's a 5-year relationship. I've done 5 deals with him. I just put in an offer yesterday for him on another deal. I had to show him, and because even, I told y'all I was using Remind, right? Earlier, before we started, I was telling him how I switched to Remind for transactions. With him on Remind, long story short, there was a mix-up, error mix-up on the offer. And I told him, I said, I am so sorry. There was an error on somehow, I have no idea. I pulled my sellers from a different contract onto this one. I didn't even realize it. So I need to redo the offer and need you to re-sign it. You know what he told me? I just need to give me another real estate agent. I said, no, you do not. And you will not get another agent because I am your agent and you love me and no one would deal with you the way I deal with you. He started laughing and said, I'll sign it. So I've gotten to that point now where I can kind of put my foot down with him. But in the beginning stages, it was just like, okay, let me step back. But now it's like, no, buddy, we're in this together and I'm gonna show you my D2 and we're gonna get this thing done. So understanding, that they want to be in control. They don't like to be taken advantage of. They don't want to feel like you're taking advantage of them. So even for him, we're looking at land. The other agent told me they're paying 4%. We all know how everything's going on compensation. So I changed everything for 4% so that I can get my 4%. And I sent it to him because our original agreement was 3% because we were looking at houses. So I switched it to 4%, and I explained to him before he ever received it that I'm changing it to 4% and this is why. So no question about it. He didn't ask anything about it. He signed it. So not making him feel like.
That's me, sorry.
Oh, okay. So no issue on me changing to 4%. I was not trying to take advantage of him. He understood that. So their buying power. They buy fast and they want bullet points. Your client, that's a high D. Did they quickly sign with you?
Well, again, there's circumstances going on,
Okay.
but yeah, we signed, had one appointment, we had signed the next day. But there was language that allowed me to remind me their motivation. You're getting divorced, there is an issue and concern around finances, around being able to sustain paying the mortgage. So wouldn't you agree to move quickly is a better choice than to delay? No, moving quickly is a good idea. So that's kind of the language based on what they told me that I gave back to them as their motive, and that encouraged them to sign quickly.
Okay, great. I love it. Great job. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yes, so with your high Ds, they usually make a decision quickly. They quickly make a decision. I don't know if you've ever had a sign call and it was a D and you were like out showing homes, and by the time you called them back, they had already made a decision, went with a different agent. I have. And when they answered and I could tell they were a D and they're like, well, we already found an agent. I said, okay, well, congratulations. If anything changes, I'm here for you. But I knew that if they're a D, they're gonna quickly make a decision. They're not gonna sit around on it. So then your influencer, they're the ones that are very talkative, enthusiastic. They love people, right? We love people, we get energy from people, and we love to talk. So they enjoy recognition, fun. So when you're showing a listing, don't be boring. When you're with them, don't be boring. They want to have that interaction. They fear rejection and loss of social approval. They're the ones that they want to be in the in crowd and they don't want, you remember seeing shows or in high school or whatever, you got the mean girls and the girl that they mistreated. They don't want to be that person that's not in the in crowd. They want to be loved. I think I mentioned to you, things that I do for a high I in our last class. I go over and beyond to give them things with pictures of themselves on it.
Feeding their ego.
Feeding their ego, baby. They love it. So I do a lot of that because I know that they love that. And they buy based on emotion. With an I, if they see something, they're gonna go with it. If you go in and you wow them, they're gonna go with you because they're going off of emotion. Those are the ones that if they like you, they're gonna pick you. That's how you get your I's. Now your S is a little bit different in that they're steady. They're calm, they're stable, they're loyal. I always say this is the best friend to have. If you want a best friend that would never tell your business, that'll be there for you through thick and thin, get an S. I always tell teenage girls, I was like, if you want somebody to tell your business, go to an S. Don't go to the I. That's usually where the problems start. So your S is very calm, loyal, stable. They love relationships. They're all about keeping a relationship. They don't want to lose a relationship. As long as they trust you, you have them for life. Your S's will be your best referral avenues for you. They will help you. They don't like change or loss of security. You change things up real quickly on an S, they are not happy. For instance, I had a client that was an S and she knew she needed to move, but the whole thing of leaving the home, they start going through the memory lane. It's so hard to let go. It's so hard to let go. So you have to kind of baby step them. Don't drastically change up things on them.
That's like my son. I'm just laughing because my son, when we moved, I'm like, go clean your room. Get rid of, you've been in there for, it should have taken him a couple hours. Day 4. Everything is nostalgic. everything is about, he's like, I was, and he's 19 now, but, oh, it's painful for me. Like, this is
And it was
taking
painful for
forever.
him because it was change and they don't like change. Even
Yeah.
though the change may be good for them, they still don't like change. It's-
I'm mostly an S, but I can also move quickly, so I'm gonna,
But that's your eye.
that's my eye.
Yeah, that's your eye.
I'm gonna make quick decisions.
Yeah. They don't, so I said they don't like change and loss of security. They like to feel secure.
Yeah.
When you have, S's, I mentioned this before, they're gonna be the ones that are worried about the school district. They're gonna be worried about the security. Do I feel safe?
Yeah.
They're the ones that want the house to be cozy. They don't need the big.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo house. They need the cottage,
Yeah.
where they can feel like they're close to their family. And they need time. And they need to be able to trust you. Need time in that, I'm not gonna quickly make a decision. Let me think about it. I'm not gonna quickly make a decision. Let me talk with my best friend, my mother, my father. They need time to make those decisions. Don't rush them. Let them take their time. Show them that you're there and you're supporting them. Give them the support that they need. And you're C, conscientious, analytical, very detail oriented, like to the T. I have a listing right now with a high C and I make, a book, we don't really have to make a book for a listing, right? We're real estate agents, we know that. No one probably really reads it, but I just did it because of the price point. She sent me a text message last night around 8 o'clock. I saw your book and you forgot to put that it was surround sound in the patio. Can you redo it? The D and me, I'll be honest with y'all my friends now. The D and me wanted to say, I'll just take the book and throw it away, and, because we don't need it. I mean, because I even got expensive brochures that I paid for. I have expensive brochures, I don't need the book. I just did a little extra. But that's my C. Accuracy and quality, and that's what they expect. Because if I don't do it, then she's gonna feel like, okay, so I gotta do it. Gotta make the change. Fears, they don't like to be wrong and they don't like to be criticized. Even if they're wrong, don't tell them they're wrong. I took a buyer out a few days ago to see a house, the one I mentioned to you. We're talking about $6 million with the guy is his family's house. My client said, oh, look at the duck. Look at the ducks. It was geese. I knew it was geese, but I wasn't gonna correct her. It looks like a duck, it's just brown. So, I'm not gonna correct her. The agent decided to correct her. There's ducks out there? That's not a duck, that's a geese. What the hell?
Yeah.
Peter, it does not matter. We don't have to correct them to be right. But he's a high C, so he had to correct. So if you have any C in you, don't correct. They need facts, proof, and logic. Facts, proof, and logic. Give them information, overload them with information because they love it. So let's go into a little bit more of the dominant, the D, the dominance. Your D personality, direct, decisive, results oriented. So how do we mirror match them? Don't look up here. How do we mirror match them?
Well, I like that because that's me, so I'm just myself.
But that's just you.
Match them,
How do you match them?
like they're fast paced, they're decisive. Bring that energy back to the table.
Right?
Remind them sorry. Remind them of, what you're doing and what they're gonna get from it.
Showing them, yeah, because what are they? They're results oriented. They want results. Remind them of the results. Why are we doing this? What's the outcome? How are you different from the other agent? The other agent came in with a nice fancy book. The other agent told me that they were charging 3 chickens, just like the other one. The other agent told me that they will market it on FMLS and Georgia MLS. The other agent told me that they'll hold an open house.
All of that stuff, but I don't waste your time.
I don't waste your time. I get straight to the point. I love it. I love it. How are you different? Because they're results oriented. I'm going to get you results, Mr. Seller. I appreciate the other agents saying that they do the FMLS, the Georgia MLS. I appreciate them saying that they're going to give an open house. Not only am I going to give an open house, but I'm going to give the best open house that you've ever seen in this neighborhood. We're going to have food and we're going to bring excitement to your home because you know what? This is a luxury home and it deserves the luxury attention. We're going to drive in clients that are just like you. We're going to show them that this is an experience to live in this beautiful home. We're going to help them to understand that there's no other home on this street like yours. I'm about results.
Well, being Heidi myself,
Mhm.
I know it's good to feed the ego. So I usually say, well, let me ask you this, what do you do? And they say whatever they say, let's just say they're an attorney. Well, I'm an attorney. I'm like, well, is there a lot of attorneys, in your firm? Yes. So how do you differentiate from everyone? And then they talk about why it makes you great. Well, it's the same for me.
And that's great.
There are a
I
lot
love
of
that.
us, and I differentiate because I'm like you.
Yes.
And you're great, and I want to be above and beyond and give that, whatever they're saying, like mirror.
Yes, I love it.
So
I love it.
I try that.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Show them your value.
Yeah.
Show them your value and appreciate them. What else?
No,
You
no.
have to come in with confidence.
You have to have confidence.
Yeah, they're open, right? So you have to approach open, like the power stand.
They're guarded.
Oh, they're the guarded.
Mhm.
Oh.
A high D is guarded. So they're a little bit more guarded. They're not as open as an I or an
Okay.
S. Yeah, I and S are open.
And that's not kind of struggle with this.
They want to be in control.
They,
I don't know, like, I get what you're saying, Melissa, but for me, maybe it's my I would be okay with that, but as a D, I don't like fluff though. Because cause I've had people do that and I'm like, like when I used to work at Verizon and they're like, oh, you a supervisor, so you know how, and I feel like I don't necessarily need you to relate to me per se. I just need you to show me that you're good at
what you do.
you do.
Yeah,
You
and
know
show
what I'm saying?
show your
'Cause I feel like
confidence.
that's BS if you're telling me, oh, I'm like you,
Yeah.
or you
Yeah.
know how you do it. No. I want you to tell, I'm not an agent, right?
Right.
And that's how they're gonna respond.
Right.
Because I have people in my family like, they're like, no, I'm not an agent.
Yeah.
So no, you shouldn't be doing like me, you know
Right.
what I mean? So I just feel like for me, honestly, with Metro, I know I sound like that, but I just try to be straight up and honest, and even when they give rebuttals, I'm like, I will say like, no, I understand why you're saying that, because X, Y, Z. And this is how I counter that, because I understand where you're coming, but I don't try to, I want you to tell me, like, I guess that's their part,
Right.
part of us, like what you want from me, but I can't because I know how I am in that regard. Like, I don't want to fluff you. I'd rather be honest with you. And if I got to walk away, sometimes, we'll sit
Right.
and think about it like, oh, I messed that up. Let me call her back.
Yeah,
I'd rather do that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Then try to fluff you and then you like, oh, she full of it. And it's like, no. So I'd rather just tell you even if it hurts. Because then I feel like a D will respect that more so than like, the open ones, they may be like, no, give me a Band-Aid. But rip it off and
Right.
they'll be okay and they'll probably work with you because you did rip it.
Right. And you gotta come with confidence and knowing who you are. Thank you.
Yeah.
You gotta come with confidence and knowing who you are and what you're able to do. Because with a high D, they need you to be confident and to the point. What are you gonna do differently? How are you gonna make something different? For instance, for me, I had a high D. I knew that the high D was looking at putting his house on the market. I also knew that the high D had another agent that they knew of because his son played football with that agent's son. So I knew that we two, both KW agents, were going after the same listing. It was not on the market. It was just a thought of I made. What do I do to separate myself from another KW agent who I think is an amazing agent? How do I separate myself from her with this client? How do I show him that I'm going to bring results to the table? We both knew it. We both knew that the house was going on the market. What did I do? I mean, we both knew that they were thinking about selling. They hadn't really finalized it. What do? I go and make a book. Remember I told you I make books. I have, I can't even remember the name of the thing, but you know, where you made the hardbound book, I have the whole machine and stuff. So I go and do a whole CMA, put it in my nice hardback book. I go and take water bottles. I buy the labels, the Avery labels. I put a picture of the house on the label and I put the address and say, I look forward to working with you. I wrote a letter about what I'm going to do, bullet point of how I'm going to sell their house because it was $1 million listing and what I'm going to do. I put all that together in a nice red bag with black paper, you know, the tissue paper. And I get it all together and I go and put it at their door. Didn't tell them I was going to do it. I just got in through the gate, put it at the door. And guess what? He calls me and says, that's a nice presentation you put together. I said, thank you. I do even more than that when I sell your home. And he said, okay. So I ended up getting the listing. Because I had to show him that there is a difference between she and I. She knew it, I knew it, that he wanted to sell, but I
Took that initiative.
took action. That is showing him that I am results oriented because I took action. I didn't sit on the information, I took action. And she came to me, I lied to you not, she came to me at one of our team meetings when it got listed and she said, how did you get that listing? I was expecting to get that listing. And she called another agent in our office. You remember the $1 million listing I told you I had in my pipeline? She just listed it. I'm like, and she was asking me, you know, how did I know them and what, you know, all these questions. And I explained to her what I did, you know, because I want to help. But that's how we are with a D. We have to take action. They respect action. Yes, I may step back and let you lead, but I'm also going to show you that I'm going to take control of the situation when I need to. I'm going to do what I need to do with grace and with confidence because that's who I am. Your I, the influencer, the inspiring one, that's outgoing, that's optimistic, that can just bring in a crowd and make everyone love him or her. You know, the one that walks into the room and everyone's happy to see him and her. The I. What do we do to mirror and match a hot I?
Yeah, warm and bubbly.
Yes, bring the energy, baby. What else can we do? Y'all can cheat,
I am not good with that.
huh?
I'm not good.
You're not good with the eyes?
Too much D. I don't have the patience to be
Oh,
warm and fluffy. Here's your bottom line.
you gotta be warm and fluffy. So, okay, so you're high D. So where do you you said you have a problem with the, well, that didn't come out right. It looks like something weird. Okay, so the D and I, where do you automatically match the D, your D, how do you automatically match an I? You were in the last class. So what are they both? So you're high D and you're saying you can't match with an I. So You may struggle with the bubbling. Put on a smile, but respect the fact that they're high D, so they're fast and direct. You're fast and you're direct. They're gonna appreciate that. The only thing that you're missing that they have is the openings. So you gotta make yourself give them a hug when you see them. I know it may not be easy, but you gotta go and give them a hug. Because I'm a D and an I. Some days I wanna hug, some days I don't. I'm like two different personalities going on. And they love the warm and fuzzy. Just come give them a hug. Come give me a hug. Just give me a hug. Come on. I hate that. It was a good hug. Give them that. Give them that and give them a smile. If you can just tweak those two things, you'll be okay. Just, when they start talking about things, just smile.
I do the nod and smile.
Okay, good. You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. And they love for you to share stories. They love to share stories and they love to hear your stories. That's how you connect with them. So think of something fun that you can talk about with them, or just let them talk about themselves. They love to do that. Ask them more about their kids.
Or use AI, because I'm like you, like, when Miss Quincy, when she came to our hug her, that's my eye. But when it comes to business and like texting, girl, like I'm ready to be like, so are you ready? But you can't say that. So I just put it in Chat GPT, like I want this to be warm and fun and energetic. And then, like I just want to see how they're doing if she makes it all nice.
That's a great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yes, and so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Chat GPT can be your best friend.
Uh-huh.
So if you know that you have an eye, like she said, use it. Tell Chat GPT, because it does understand disc. Say on the disc, my client is an I. How should I approach this email or this text message? And then it will write one for you. So put whatever they send you in text or email, put it in Chat GPT and say, my client is a high I. Please help me to respond.
And if they,
So that I love that idea because that does help you with texting and email.
yes.
Now, when you're in person, you're gonna have to give a little hug now. You're gonna have
GPT to write you a script.
Yes, it will write your scripts and everything.
You look.
Yeah, and Microsoft Copilot is another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gemini.
No, I know, but.
So what do you say to them when you're meeting them to go start showing them homes? You can look up there.
Let me show you a home your friend will love.
Love. And I loves the word love. You know, my D high, I love the word love. I love you. I love to be loved and I love people. Love. Love is a big word for a high I. When you're in doubt, just say, do you love it?
Yeah.
All you gotta use is the word love, and it just makes it warm and fuzzy. Huh?
We love that backsplash.
Don't you love that backsplash? Don't you love this kitchen? Can you see entertaining in this kitchen? Because they love to entertain. So don't be too serious and data driven with them. They're steady. They're calm and they're loyal. It's all about the relationship. Do I trust you? May I trust you?
That's me. I'm in East Tennessee.
Welcome to the class. We've been sitting here waiting on you to come. We don't have enough of SCs in here. With them, be patient. I can't rush an S. I can't do the walk. They're soft-spoken. I talk up here. I can bring it down a notch. Because if I talk fast and I walk fast and I think fast and everything I do is fast with an S,
Makes it feel like pressure.
they feel pressure. They don't like that. Don't give it to them. You have to build trust with them. You have to engage them. How do you build trust with an S? Tell me, what would you do to make an S feel like they can trust you?
listen and wait for them to complete what they're saying. Sometimes they take a long time to get to the end.
Yes, because they're thinking. They're thinking.
And then you go, I think what I'm hearing you say is.
Repeat what you heard. I love that. Thank you.
Also too, like, okay, so in my line of business, the S is sort of like a thinker. So, you can kind of, look at it as trying to find out what their ideas are as well, like. When we're talking about if you're trying to help somebody find a home, of course, we do ask the question, what are you looking for? We're really honing in and trying to process what they have really been thinking about, because their thought process is not your thought process. So you have to give them time to actually, like she was saying, put it out there and put it all well together.
Thank you. Exactly. Because they are thinking and making sure that we are connecting with them.
You want to hit all the right variables.
The best thing about an S2 is ask more questions to get to know them. The more they feel like you know of them, the better they feel with you, that they can trust you. Oh, I know I can trust her because she knows everything about me. You know, ask them about, you know, their kids and what school they go to and do they play sports and, you know, what's going on with their lives. Get them talking because they're big about family. Get them talking more about family and that will create a connection with them. So when we're talking with them, let's take our time to make sure you're comfortable. We're not rushing them. Let's take our time to make sure you're comfortable. I need you to be comfortable with this decision. Let's take our time. Let's take our time. Let's take our time. Don't pressure them. Conscientious. Are analytical. I need to make sure I have all the facts. I need to make sure that I understand all the data. I don't want to make a decision without knowing everything. So how do we mirror match?
Do your research,
Do your research, yes.
because they're true thinkers. They already thought about every variable they came about before they even asked the question.
And we talked about that, and thank you, and we talked about that earlier. You know, if you know that they're really high C, even going to show houses, you need to already have information on the other houses in the neighborhood. Because there's going to be questions that will be asked. You're going on a listing appointment, have all the data, all that. I'm not a C, so please forgive me. All that crap that FMLS gives us on charts and graphs and stuff, use the crap. It's, you know, for me, a high D, I, and more so I just, but it's great for a C. Get it. But for a high, I don't want to see all that here. Do I like it or not? Can I entertain?
I've also noticed, like, it's important if you read the things they send you.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
So you
Yes.
can?
It-
You need to pay attention
work
to
with-
what they
yeah,
send
the
you
high-
because they sent it for a purpose.
okay.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was reading these 5 articles about X. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Let me take a quick look.
And then he'll
so
ask
I can
you-
respond, you
Yeah.
know, like, oh yeah, this is an interesting point they made here, blah.
And you know, you can take that article and put it in ChatGPT and say,
Yeah.
give me some highlights to respond to my high C client. Rock star.
You're such a D. I love it. I love it. I'm the same way.
Because I'm not gonna sit there and read it.
Gonna take me to read?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna read it. I will put in ChatGPT though. David, y'all know David Williams. I'm working with him on a couple of deals. And he's hilarious. I think I probably stress him out sometimes because I don't know commercial. And my client was looking at a property and we received the lease. I don't know what the lease looked like. I'm residential. So we received the lease. And so David sent it out saying, hey, you know, I got this, told my client, you know, review it, but I'm out right now and I can't review it. My high D, I need to get it done now. Threw that thing in ChatGPT and tell me all the pros and the cons and things I need to look for my client. And it spitted it out and I sent it to David. I said, here, I've already got the review. He was like, how did you do that? I said, Chat GPT. He was like, wow. I'm like, cause I don't know what I'm reading. I was like, so this at least help you when you get to where you are, so we can quickly get this done. So I am quick to use Chat GPT. But with the C personality, spreadsheets, stats, give them all the data, pull it all out, and be like. So I did my research. I did my research on this property, and this is what I found. I compared everything. You just compare everything. Square, they want to know, price per square foot and all that stuff. So don't be vague and casual with them. They don't like that. Sorry. Okay, so scenario, we're just talking. Don't get nervous yet. And I did say yet. Fast talking client wants numbers now. What do we do? I'm fast talking and I want your numbers now. Give me some numbers. What do you do?
Numbers.
Is this before or after you should have done your research already?
Before you've done your research. I called you, I'm a buyer, I called you and I'm started asking you about our same situation. Why is this house priced more than the other houses? I see it. I just called you off of a Zillow lead. And we're not paying for Zillow leads. I use that because I actually had this situation and I do not pay for Zillow leads.
Yeah.
But I just want to put that disclosure out there.
Yeah.
But I called you because I just saw your name popped up on Zillow and I'm looking at this house, but it's overpriced in my, when I compare it to other homes in the neighborhood. What do you do? So I'm asking you, so first of all, let's think about what I'm asking you. I called you on fast pace.
Yeah.
So which two are fast paced?
Very
D and I.
D and I. And I'm asking you about numbers. Which one asked about numbers? Okay, I just put that up there. Here we go. Okay, so I'm asking you about numbers. So I could definitely be a D, or I could have some C. Because C is really your numbers person, right?
Yes.
And we know that most people have two, right?
Yes.
Two high ones, because we just went through the room and each one of you had two really high ones. So
D and I and a C.
So I am fast paced. Normally, I wouldn't really be asking about numbers.
Would that be the C then?
That would be the C, but more than likely, probably are a D and a C,
D and C.
more than likely.
But if they're fast talking, then that would maybe be more of a D.
Yeah. Because I'm fast talking and I want numbers now. Did you get that last word? Now. So what is that? D. So more than likely, they're a D and a C. More than likely, they're D and a C. So we would mirror match both because they're showing strengths on both. So how will we mirror match someone that's a D and a C? So what do they have in common that we can hit on that would help them?
Stay on task. You go off of that.
Thank you. Task. They're guarded, they're completely guarded. So do not go and hug them. Stand back. Y'all know that's hard for me. I'm like, I want a hug. I need a hug.
What if they're calling you on the phone, just like they called your listing, you're driving, you don't have access to look at even the property that they're talking about? How do you respond?
Okay, I'm on the road right now. I should be at my destination in 15 minutes. Can you give me 20 minutes and I'll get right back with you? Actually, it took me 10 minutes to get there. That gives me an extra 10 minutes, but I don't want them to think that I needed 10 minutes. I want them to think I only need 5, so that's why I do that.
Okay.
You'll provide them a number.
So,
I said provide them a number.
yeah, get their information, but, be direct with them and let them know, I'm going to get that with you, and let them know exactly what time. Give yourself cushion. The cushion should not be on getting the result. The cushion should be on getting to your destination. Give yourself some time.
What about if you get their destination, but you're not prepared to answer properly?
So like if you're going to meet with a client and you don't have time, okay, I'm going to meet with a client right now. I should be done by 5 p.m. Do you mind if I call you back at 5:30 and we can discuss all this? Because I want to make sure I'm prepared.
Set the proper expectation up front.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Set the expectation.
Most Ds are okay with you having to get to the right answer. as
Yeah.
long as
Right,
you
exactly.
Set that expectation.
Yes.
And deliver.
But that's that C part of them though. If they, you know what I'm saying, because
Right,
they're
want that
expecting, they
research.
want
Yeah,
that research.
they want the
That's
research.
Part of them.
So what about the concern, I think I agree with what everyone's saying, but what about the concern of fast paced now, like they might not be wanting to wait 3 hours?
Well, so when you're telling them that, ask them, is that okay?
Does that
And
work?
then
for you?
if they say no, say, are you looking at it right now? Find out why it's not okay. But I don't want to say why it's not, because I would like to ask that, why
Help me
not?
understand. Help me understand.
I'm not gonna do that.
Frame, okay, okay.
We're asking why not without asking why not. I may need to ask ChatGPT how to be nicer on that. Cause I'm like, why not?
I mean, I want to respect your time, but I also want you to respect mine.
Yeah. But I probably wouldn't say that, because
So she's fast talking.
she's a D.
He's-
Yeah, I am
I'm
too.
in DC, yeah.
D, yeah. Okay, bubbly couple wants to FaceTime their friends.
They're an INS.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I gotta show my friends this house. And you let them. You step back because you don't want to be in it. Take your time. Then make sure all the lights are on for you. Quiet buyer, ask for more time to process.
Definitely a S.
I'm sorry. Yep. That's your S. And then the last one, the detail focused client brings a checklist. Yep. Your C.
I or C?
And I is not gonna bring no checklist.
I is the influencer, that's the FaceTimer.
So the C.
Okay, let's see. 3. Okay, let's get in groups of 4. Leave 4 over here and 4 over here. Let's do it like this. 1, 2. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna mix it up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, so I was like,
One's over here, 2's over there.
okay, so I'm like,
You're 2, I think.
Um,
I don't know. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, you're 1. You're 1.
2.
One's over here. Oh, well, I guess you were 2 then.
That's 2. Oh, this is good, this is great.
Yeah, this is.
That's what I said.
Well, you gonna take me.
Just think about your next round.
What should we do?
Okay, send me, a person from your team. Send me a brave person from your team.
a brave person. Oh, we added the brave after that fact.
Lord, I'm being stared at. I'm gonna just do it.
No.
Yes, Alexis. You got
Okay,
it.
okay, we can play.
That's why.
No, I am, cause I didn't wanna lie here. Okay, come on, Quincy. I
That's
gotta
the
go.
DNI.
Jesus.
Okay, you both stand right here. I mean, you stand with your team. Don't let them see the paper though.
Okay.
Don't let them see the paper. Don't let them see the paper.
Okay.
Okay, read the first one. You both just read the first one to yourself, not out loud. Y'all ready?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Now put it down, lay it down. Lay it down, right behind there, lay it down this way, yeah, thank you. All right, so I can keep it on. All right, now.
You getting sweaty?
Now you go. No, look at your teams.
Oh,
Look at your teams, look at your
team.
teams. Okay, now, you cannot tell them what you are,
Just act
but
it
you have what you gotta do.
I can hardly bear it.
Yes, but you can act it out for them, and they gotta guess what it is.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. I'm walking in.
All right, so I need to get this done
Okay.
quickly,
I need.
and I need it done like yesterday.
No, I need to get it done like, so tomorrow.
What can we do to get this done?
Is it one or two?
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like.
Highlight down.
It sounds like a D,
But what else
but
is
is
it?
it one or two?
Yeah. and
I need to look at it
Well,
now.
No, it's C.
I'm obviously two, because we're all a dominant, and then we
Oh,
put one
okay.
in.
Ah, you don't use that word.
I'm sorry.
Well,
we're- These two, one's a little higher than the other. Is that better?
Okay, so there's the other one, okay. So it's D and something else.
You picked up on that.
Keep going.
Keep going.
It's like charades.
I know, right? I'm
I heard,
She guessed. She already got it.
She already, I guess.
I'm Halle Berry. I thought I had to
Either
beat
TI or
the.
C.
okay. You got it?
Got it, yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so what did y'all say?
DC.
DC, okay. So what gave it away for the DC?
Well, for me, what gave it away was, she said, I need it done now, and then she said, I need it done by Friday.
Okay,
So she gave me a time frame. There was a checklist I already thought out about what she needed done and when she needed to be done.
okay. So now I want the two of you to come in the front together.
Okay.
Girl, I don't bite.
Okay, now that you both understand what you're doing, I need you to mirror match.
Okay.
The one, I'll let you decide which one wants to be the agent, which one wants to be the CEO.
Can you do that?
Sure.
This is a double lesson for me. Thank you. Okay. You ready? You want me to go ahead and like walk in? Cause that's what I
So,
do.
okay, but you're the agent, right? So
Yes.
you gotta mirror match her energy.
Okay.
Hello, Brittany. How are you today?
I'm good, Lexus. How are you?
I'm great, but I need this condo so like Friday.
Okay, well, how about we do it today?
Oh my God, I love that because I want to get it sold at the highest price, preferably market value, because the Mr. Bob up the street, he sold his for 600,000, and I know my condo looks better than that, so you saying you can do that?
Well, I mean, I'd take a look at the comps, but I mean, if his condo sold but market value and yours is, more upgraded
Renovated,
and better, then
correct.
I think that won't be a problem at all.
You can do it because I just talked to an agent and they said they could get it done, but I didn't trust them.
Well, what can I do to earn your trust and get this done for you?
I need to know if you can get it sold. I need the numbers like tonight so I can make my decision tonight because I would like it on the market tomorrow.
Okay, that's not a problem. I'd like to go back to my office. That way I can sit down and really look at everything and get a
Okay.
good, clear picture. And I can give you a call about 4 o'clock and we can go over those numbers.
Well,
That
I have
sound
a
good?
meeting, but can you send it to my assistant Kathy?
I definitely can.
Okay, and then I'm gonna call you at, what did you say, how much time you need?
I mean, I need about an hour to get back to my office and get everything done and get it over to you or over to Kathy. So if you want to give me a call after your appointment at 4, I'll be available.
Awesome, thank you.
Of course.
Bye, Brittany.
Bye.
Brittany, wow. I love it.
That's why Brittany was the agent.
Great job, ladies. So, for everyone else in the room, we had a seller that needs to unload a condo fast. The disc profile was a high D, secondary C. The client cues were they enter in with a brisk stride, minimal talking, direct questions. How fast can you get it on the market? What's your plan? Arm crossed, leaning forward. Agent cues were match speed and pace, concise bullet point answers, strong eye contact, lean in, and use decisive verbiage. So from that, how did y'all think that went?
Really amazing.
I thought she did a
You did
very
very
good
good.
job.
She did an amazing job, and you would have gotten the listing. So what did you all see from sitting in the room? What did you see as far as observing them two together?
She was matching gestures.
Yes, yes, she was.
And pace and tone,
Yes,
all that.
She gave short answers.
She listened very well
Yes.
and responded very well.
she did. She did. Okay, give your paper to someone else.
Not you took it.
Okay, I need two of you to stand in front of your team. I want you to go to page 2. That's why I got so many, so no one to know which one we use, in case they were looking. On page 2, the first one, on page 2. Do it for your team first and let them figure out what the disc is, and then you both will come up here and do the same thing. If you need me to be that other person for you, let me know.
I was about to say, how am I supposed to do this last part by myself?
Mhm.
Must seem like a schizo.
You need me to, you need me to come over there and let me know.
Okay, so
I can do
I'm,
both. Cause if the class was bigger, I would have had 2 people, but we gotta improvise. So I could be. Yeah, so you just, more so, you just focus on these right here.
my husband and I are interested in looking at a
So.
property in Buford. We're looking in the Seconder School District. Okay. Yeah, Seconder, we have a couple of kids we'd like to put, we heard it's a good school. The research says that, compared to.
I mean, yeah, that's.
Goodness,
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah, essence.
Dominant.
I heard y'all over there.
S&C.
Yeah, y'all did good.
Because you're researching safety, you have a family mindset, and you want facts and history.
Okay, Donna, so there's nothing
No,
to be
there's a,
dominant.
okay,
And
good.
thanks, love, and nature is small.
I'm gonna say this real quick, so. Me and you talked about this.
You did say.
You know, I work, the company I work for, we do this, but it's done in different ways. For some people, like myself, it's like the dominant, conscientious, steady, influential was confusing to kind of put in a box. So I put it in a box like I do. So the D is for director, I is an entertainer because they're social.
Mhm.
The S is a feeler because they feel, and then the C, conscientious, is a thinker.
Mhm.
So that's how I kind of break it down for myself, just in case that's helpful.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm just getting them.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you are.
I think of C.
Okay, so the 2 of you come up here.
Match this C with, I try to match the first letter with.
How's it going? Okay,
You're good.
you're gonna be. You're gonna be, what y'all wanna be?
The C's a thinker.
I'll be the agent.
The C is the.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't wanna be direct and just tell y'all what to do, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Amy, and this is my husband. Oh, thank you, I'm like, this is weird stuff.
It was weird feeling like this.
Yeah. We are interested in looking at a house we saw on Zillow at 5213 Ivy Crest Drive in Buford. We saw that it's in the Seconder School District, and we have a couple of kids that we would love to put in that school. And what are your thoughts about Seconder? Have you researched, have you looked into it? Do you know this area?
Is it safe?
I Love this area. My kids actually go to second year as well.
Oh,
It's great to meet you. I look forward to knowing some more parents in this school. It really is an awesome place to be. Here are some floor plans of that house.
oh, wow, we hadn't seen these on the, did you see these on the list?
I was actually researching it for some other clients as well. It's definitely a sought after hot district right now.
Okay, can we take this with us and take some time and then we'll call you to set up an appointment?
Absolutely. Take all the time you need.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That's just- Yeah.
Okay, so my question for you all is,
My mom, I'll take her out.
so my question for you all is, with that one, we know that they were an SC, a husband-wife combo. The wife did most of the talking, which did an amazing job because the husband didn't know anything. So how did you feel about it? I thought they did a great job. So what did you think? What did you notice?
He matched her, like her very calmness and smoothness, even to the point where she had her head down a little bit, so like being submissive, so.
Yes,
Which I know
yes.
is very hard for you.
Very hard. You did a great job.
That was
And her tone, did you notice how
Yeah,
her
she was
tone
very
was?
soft.
Soft spoken,
Spoken.
yes,
That's
Huh?
why it was soft and smooth.
yes.
Even the relation, you related to her when you said, I actually have some kids that go to
Yeah,
second
that was
year as
great.
well, yeah. That was the relation.
So let
I just
me,
gotta hope it's not both.
And then you hit that C, giving them something to take with them.
A tangible product,
Yeah.
yeah.
yes, I love that, of giving them something for them to look at, because a C loves to have something in their hands. It's like any kind of information, any kind is like gold for them, like, oh my gosh, I got info. So giving them
And they also
control.
didn't rush. They wanted to come back and set an appointment later.
Yes, and you didn't rush them. I appreciate that. So when we mirror match, we have to understand many times we're gonna be totally different than the client or the prospect, but we have to adjust to them. So if we are task oriented and guarded, C or D, then we have to understand when we're dealing with an I and an S, we gotta be more open, figure it out. How to be more open to them, how to be more people oriented, relationship with them. When we are an I and S, we have to understand that our Ds and our Is are more task oriented. They're more guarded. They don't want me to hug them. They look at me like, what? And they want to get straight to the task. They don't care about me telling them stories about my life. I have a client right now that likes to call and talk to me about what's going on personally. I don't care. And I'm just like, literally, when I pick up, because that's the D in me. I'm task oriented right now. I don't want to do that. And even my eye can't take that much of it. But we have to try to mirror match them where they are. So when I get my D under control and bring out my eye, hey girl, oh really? Oh, little Billy did that. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh yes, I see the picture. Oh my gosh. It is. But we have to mirror match. We have to mirror match. When we are D and I, we're fast paced and direct. So when we naturally deal with someone that's a little bit slow, I have to stop talking so fast. I have to match.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I have to match them where they are. I can't bring all of my energy.
Does this go for your assistant too? Does your assistant mirror and match?
The clients?
No, me.
No, no, you need to
This
address.
does not know.
No, you need to adjust.
I'm gonna need you to mirror match me.
No.
more.
You have the assistant for a reason, because they're hopefully totally opposites.
Yes, that is
And
my
you have-
mom.
And I get it though, because I usually when I hire an admin, they have to be a high SC, and some days for me, it's hard. But you know, we have this understanding. I'm high D, I train them on it. I'm high D, high I. When I say da 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 da, I need you to da 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 da, okay? If I'm going too fast, just let me know to slow down. Otherwise, keep it moving, baby.
You need to read my mind between the.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God, I don't read your mind enough already.
Oh my goodness. But
She
anyway,
says she can't read my mind, and then she does, so.
I love it. But making sure that you know that the S and C are a little bit more slower and analytical. They're analyzing things. They're not gonna quickly make decisions. They're more indirect. They're not gonna try to, they're gonna think about what they say because they don't wanna hurt someone's feelings. As I told you before, an S will be the one that, you know what, you were out with them and then all of a sudden they ghosted you. You're like, what in the world? Because they didn't want to hurt your feelings that you suck. They don't want to hurt your feelings. I've had an S when I first got in real estate to just ghost me, and I wanted to ghost her because I'm like, how many more houses do we need to see? I can't take it anymore. And then I think my D started finally coming out. This was before I got discertified. My D started coming out and I think she just like ghosted me, which, thank you, Jesus.
Can you give me an example of indirect?
Indirect?
Yeah.
Indirect is when you're not wanting to be direct, like, I don't want to tell you that,
This house is ugly and I don't like it. Your house smells like cat pee.
Yeah, they're not gonna directly come and tell you how bad something is. They're gonna indirectly, I don't know, I'm just not really feeling it. I don't know, I don't feel the coziness, but then they're telling, you know, they may be telling their family member, it was terrible, but I didn't wanna hurt their feelings. Like, they don't wanna hurt your feelings on something.
They
So
won't be
that's,
straight to the point.
yes, they're not gonna get straight to the point at all. Like, you know, a D and the I, they're gonna get straight to the point. They're gonna go around the way. That's why they're the buyer or the seller that may not want to hurt your feelings if you're not the right fit for them. They'll just let you go. I had an agent in my office just recently. She kept coming to my office every time I saw her complaining about a high S. She's a high D, and she kept complaining about it. The problem was D and S. And the S finally didn't want to hurt her feelings, went to our lender, in-house lender, and told him that she didn't want to deal with her, but couldn't tell the agent. They don't want to hurt your feelings. So she let her go without telling her she let her go. She just stopped answering her phone calls. Yeah, I know that hurts, doesn't it? But I mean, you just got to understand the personality. So real estate success, you know your style, be self-aware, identify your client style quickly, mirror match appropriately, you know, wherever they are, make sure you're matching where they are, and adapt to serve, not to manipulate them, but to serve them. And, you know, making sure you're building trust. Build trust with them, no matter who it is, whether it's a DISC, everyone works with people that they trust. And how do you build trust? It's understanding how they think. How do they move? How do they see the world? And then you mirror match that. Thank you all for participating. Let's